So, hey folks, thanks for tuning into this episode. So this is this particular podcast episode is slightly different to the usual one in that this is I don't know if this is going to be the final title, but it's a Synth Pals virtual party. Sounds very Alan Partridge. I even pronounced it like Partridge as well. But that's what it is, and this is what we're running with. So with me today, I've got a few artists that I'm in regular contact with, some great artists. So I've got R9. I've got Heartbeat Hero, I've got Neon Highway, and I've got Jess Towers. So big thank you, folks, for joining me on this today. How are we all? I'll start with you, Tim, as I'm gonna go around on my screen here. I'm gonna snake around.
I'm good,
How are
thank you. Hot but good. Yeah, very well. Yeah, struggling with it, not doing enough music.
Very warm. Yeah, we were having the discussion off air that it's too hot to actually write or produce any music, which is a pain. So as part of this as well, putting this online, the prerequisite was to come in hand with an alcoholic beverage. What is your choice?
My choice is a St Austell tribute. So that's a real ale for any of you who haven't familiarised yourself with the right drink.
I'm finding now because I'll come to mine shortly. Drinking a carbonated beverage on a podcast is I'm starting to think that might not be the best idea. So I think dive away from the microphone every now and again. Yes, yeah. Oh mate, I've got carb overload from that tagine. So going round, I've now got Heartbeat Hero. Heartbeat Hero, how are we?
It's also hot here, and I'm drinking Bacardi Rum Cola.
Oof.
Oh, good choice. Good choice. I haven't had one of those in a while. It is very, very hot. And obviously the audience listening doesn't know this, but I actually spoke to Daniel Heartbeat Hero earlier today. So there's going to be a dedicated episode purely with Heartbeat Hero, which is going to be fantastic, and that's going to come out in September. So I'm snaking down again. So next I've got Neon Highway. How are we?
At the end of 4 days off, which means at the end of 4 days of drinking. And you've made me continue that with a Highlander, which comes from Fine Ales, which is in Lochfine up in the Highlands.
Yeah, aptly named as well, Highlander.
It's a great wee brewery, actually. It's just at the top of this beautiful loch, and there's like a seafood restaurant, and you've got this brewery in the hills, and you just go and got all these tons of ales and stuff. It's absolutely brilliant.
That's good.
Fantastic. You know what? It's a part that I need to view. I need to go up and visit. But yeah, because of whiskey as well. I'm an avid whiskey fan. Yeah, I do need to visit. And Jess,
good, thank you.
How are we?
Very hot, like you guys. Can't cope with this heat. So
no.
I'm not as cool as you. I'm afraid I'm a bit girly and I've got a rosé.
No, I tell you what, variety. It's good that we're not just purely plugging ale on the show. So no, it's all good. Although in saying that, it would be quite nice. Imagine if St Austell got in touch. Hey, you know what? If you just if you drop us in every episode, that'd be decent. I'd say I'd take anyone, to be honest. Any one of those. I've got the Blandford Fly. So I'm going to hold it up to the screen because this will be. There we go. Yeah, the Blandford Fly. Where's it? Well, from Blandford, funnily enough, for the UK contingent here.
What a surprise!
Yeah, you wouldn't have guessed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is kind of like an extension of my Instagram lives that I do. So they run every Wednesday, and I basically just talk into my phone for about 20 minutes, and people occasionally comment or drop in and out, and I just ramble on. So I think what might be a good way to start is to get things moving. Is maybe if we start on like the promotional side of things. So, well, it'd be quite interesting to know, or hear about your promotional stories and like successes, and maybe things that haven't gone so well. Because chatting to Daniel earlier, actually, we had a good conflab about promotion and that sort of thing, and the pitfalls, the challenges, and what works well. So does anyone have any stories that they would like to share? What we'll do here is, this isn't like Teams where you can actually click, for those Teams users, where you can click a fake hand that raises. So if you do want to add something, just like do that like you're in school. And I'm a teacher, so it works, you know. And does anyone have anything or any questions with regard to promotion that they want to put to the rest of the group?
That's a good question.
Oh, stunned silence. No.
What's that?
I think in terms of stories, it's this community, isn't it? It's building that network of people that you've got around you is what it's all about. You've got people like Daniel, and he's doing his shows, which are absolutely brilliant, filling the space. Pop Art Waves doing something which is a bit different. We've got you, Mark, doing your podcasts, and then we've got the rest of the group who are just sort of sharing everybody's art, really. And I think having that community has been a big boost, certainly for me this year. I kind of almost sort of chucked it in last year, and then I picked it up again this year. And since coming into that community, it's not just been about the promotion, but it's finding the inspiration, I guess, to write new stuff and bounce ideas off each other. And I think that's just such a massive part of it. It's a real boost mentally, musically, everything. It's just absolutely fantastic having a community.
Mm.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's something that I cover in pretty much every episode that I have. And when I talk to artists about the amazing community and how supportive it is, because and sharing of ideas and content and all that sort of thing. My question to you then, Eka, is what you said you're going to jack it in. What stopped you from doing it? What made you keep carrying on?
I pretty much did. I mean, I closed all my social accounts down. I released my last EP and called it Switch Off, and that was it. Chucked in Neon Highway, and then somebody said, "Are you not writing music anymore?" And I thought, I don't know. And I released something, and then Karen Zoe Lee picked it up and played it, and she was like, "Where's all your where's all your meta stuff and your social sites?" And I was like, "I've got rid of them all, Karen." She's like, "You need to get that on ASAP again." I was like, "Right, okay." And then I was in touch with a DJ Shira. She does a lot of synthwave stuff, and she was running an event last year in Derby. It was like an 8-band synthwave event. It had Calyx, who else? A bunch of guys duet with 2 T's, loads of synth. It's an absolutely brilliant event, the event. And she says, "So I've got your latest single. What I'll do is I'll play it after Calyx finishes." So we're in this nightclub, all these synth fans from all over the UK. We've got guys from Lebrock in the audience and so on. And up comes one of my tracks to start the after party. And I was like, "This is great." I was like, "I'm loving this." Absolutely brilliant. People were dancing. I was like, maybe I should stick this out. So I just kept going with it. And I think it was about December time. One of my pals, Russell's cousin, says, "By the way, my cousin does kind of this synth music that you're doing." So I sent me his name, Russell Nash, got in touch with him, and he invited us into the group and Tim's group, and it all went from there. And it's just been month after month, inspiration, creating new stuff, meeting new people, meeting Jess, meeting yourself, Mark, Heartbeat Hero, everybody. It's just, and from there, it's just, I can't see myself chucking it again. It's just too much fun now. It's great, just loving it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it'd be nice to do more of these sorts of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be a podcast episode, where we can actually put faces to names. I always get that run the wrong way. Faces to names. And do that, which is amazing.
I invited you all by mistake,
fantastic.
don't you?
Go on, Tim.
Like the thing that I joined this sort of sort of put this synth fam sort of kind of chat going on Instagram was because I just thought, I'll just message a load of people I seem to be following about my track or something, and didn't realise it formed a group. I had no idea about this, and then suddenly all these people were talking on this group, and I went, I've done something here. Is this good or bad? And I just kind of went with it, kind of thing. But I literally didn't know how to form a group. I was a bit of an Instagram noob at that point, so. Yeah, so I'm glad I did that. Nearly everything that I've done that has been good in my life has been by mistake. So, they would kind of follow that line.
That's good, though, isn't it? The organic way it grows. I like that. It's very nice. The groups are fantastic. Admittedly, sometimes it takes me a while to scan through everything and take everything in. I have to dedicate. I'm like, right, I'll go in and check now and dedicate a good sort of 15 minutes to reading through everything, but they are fantastic. Is anyone on Discord? I know I joined one the other day on Discord,
yes, I am on
which
Discord.
is an amazing group, and it's sort of filtered out and stuff. But I'm still yet to fully get on board with it. Has anyone got any experience with Discord?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really
put that as
sort
a
of...
no.
I'm on Discord. But I was letting Tim talk.
No, yeah, go.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go for it. I mean, Daniel, yeah.
So I have my own Discord account, and I've been on a lot of other Discord accounts. But like the Facebook groups, it kind of gets overwhelming after a while because there are so many places you need to check, and so eventually I just kind of left it to the wayside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finding that. I think when you have multiple groups going, I've turned, admittedly, with my phone, I don't know about you guys, but I've turned all social media notifications off my phone. So I only go in and check when I want to. Otherwise, I'm not saying I'm like I'm this guy who gets millions of messages every day by any stretch. But I find that otherwise I'm constantly replying and reading. So I've switched them all off. But going back to what Daniel said there about Discord and having these multiple platforms, it's hard. It's hard to keep track.
So the good thing about Discord is that you can have all these different subjects you can talk about. So it's easier to track what people are talking about. So that's a really positive thing. It's just where the community is that you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that it is really good when you can do that because you can have one for like new music, one for general discussion, one for like geeking out on tech, etc. And when you break it down like that, you can go in and find out actually, you know what, I want to know a bit about X, Y, Z. Whereas I think with what I find with some Facebook groups, I don't know about you guys, but there are the larger groups whereby it is just like YouTube video, and then it can get quite. I think one thing, I mean, the group for this podcast isn't huge by any stretch, but I think one of the prerequisites is you have to actually have some text with a post. So I don't know about you, if I see just a post without any text, I generally don't pay it any mind. I don't know what you guys do in that respect.
I mean, it's not that I don't pay it any attention. I think I like a bit of a story though. I like to know who's behind it, what they're doing, why they named it that way, what was the artwork doing. I think it's nice to know what's gone into it rather than just boom, here's the link, play it.
Yeah.
It's almost like they don't care. You know, it's kind of
Not personable.
Yeah, definitely. That's that.
I do really enjoy Sorry, sir. Yeah, I do really enjoy the sort of interaction that's kind of like if you're on Instagram and something happens. You're quickly sort of, you're on the platform, so you can be sort of looking at a post, sharing a story, talking to someone. So it's all on the same platform. That's the thing that frustrates me with Discord is I'll be having a conversation about a video somewhere else and something else. And, you know, and then I'm constantly on and off with Discord to go back to whatever that thing was, off to YouTube, I'm off to Instagram, then I'm returning to Discord. And I find the idea of all the different like topics and things is really good. And I can see that you can build much bigger groups as well, which is really good. So there's things I like, but like overall, I just tend to find them sort of, it's all in one place when I'm on Instagram. So that I just find that a bit easier. But to be honest, I seem to have to be on so many networks, you know, TikTok, everything. I mean, it's just like, I think you can't be that choosy if you're a musician and you want to promote yourself. I do find this. I was having this conversation with a non-synth waver who was just doing a really good friend of mine who I met on Instagram, and he's a musician. He sort of writes songs, and he's a good songwriter, but he's really frustrated by the fact that he's got 10 followers on Spotify. And no monthly listeners, essentially, like, you know, to his stuff. And he's really frustrated that he applied to 2 playlists and they hadn't accepted him. And that was it. He's kind of at the give up point. And I was like, but I applied for 90 playlists and got 9 of them. You know, on my first single, you can't, well, you can be like that. That's fine. But like, if you are like that, you will give up, you will just shelve it, and then you won't be doing music. So, you know, I think, or you've got to moderate what you're expecting out of it and go, well, I don't want all of that. I'm just quite happy to put something up on SoundCloud. If somebody likes it, they like it, and it's for fun, and I enjoy it. But I think you can't really sort of, you know, expect it all to happen, unfortunately, without social media. And some people still do, I think, expect that, oh, I've done this great album and everyone is going to listen to it. Unfortunately, they won't unless you tell them you've done it. And unfortunately, you don't just tell them once either. You seem to have to tell them in numerous different ways, in numerous different places. You know, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's the nature of the beast, isn't it? Like Daniel and I having this conversation earlier with another interview, and it's the case of like you have to market it, you have to push it out there, because otherwise you can create all this great content, you can put it up, and it's not a case of if you build it, they will come. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
I think that's what I'm partly guilty of. I think that once I've sort of released it, I've got a bit of a sort of shift in mindset. Instead of sitting there and promoting the same song and doing all that work, which is work, isn't it? It's like an additional part of what we do. I'm sort of itching to start something else new, because I feel like I've done that now. But Tim's right. It's like you have to put that effort in to let people know that it's out there. And
you don't have to do it yourself. You can also employ somebody or get somebody that does like doing it to do it for you.
Yeah, it's extra money.
Especially if you don't enjoy doing it yourself.
Yeah. Do you do that yourself?
Or ask fans. Ask fans of your music. They could promote you more.
Yeah. And there's always Fiverr. Sorry. I was having this conversation the other day that said, actually, we will find out the entire music industry in 4 years' time is all run by some guy in India on Fiverr, you know, because it's just like Fiverr has become and just like this sort of thing that I'm not saying is necessarily good, because a lot of the time it's the problem is we have no idea who this person is, really what they're doing for us or not doing for us. And a lot of the time, lots of conversations this week actually about, like, which is shocking, I've been uncovering just how extremely botified Spotify is. I don't know how that sentence happened, botified Spotify, but there we go. Yeah, that just is shocking how much, like, I sort of, you know, you find a good playlist and you think, oh, this looks okay, this looks reasonable, and then when you really look into it, you start to find out. And behind this supposedly good playlist that other people are on and getting things, you know, I'm not aiming this at all playlists, don't get me wrong, but like, you know, this playlist that surprisingly I find some really good artists following, so they must be interested in it. You know, because I've got this thing that can show the sort of people that were liking the playlist, and I was quite interested to find the people who were liking this playlist, only to find out at the end of the day that this playlist was essentially run by bots. And you know, and it's quite shocking, because you think people would pay for promotion, get onto a playlist, have lots of streams on their account, but really those aren't real listeners and real people enjoying their music. You know, those are just numbers. And so that's a kind of dark side of the whole promo game, I think, which is, it clouds the issue.
It's interesting you mentioned the Spotify playlist bots, because I know there was a conversation yesterday, today, it might rumbled on into today, which was whereby an artist had a sudden spike. And I've seen it in the past where I've had like a sudden spike on a track that I released ages ago, and I'm like, well, I've done no promo on that whatsoever. Maybe I got lucky and the radio station played it somewhere, and I went and looked at the playlist and I was like, I don't recognise any of the artists on there. And then I checked back a few days later and my song's gone. It's no longer on there. So I've got this huge spike and it comes down again. And I'm wondering why. It's got to be, I'm assuming it's a bot of some form, but is it a way of these particular curators, for want of a better way of putting it, of getting you interested in their playlist? They put you on there, take you off, you contact them because, you know, yeah, exactly. Because, you know, actually, look, my song was on your playlist. It did 3,000 plays in a day. Can you put me back on it? Oh, yeah, it's going to cost you X, Y, Z. It's kind of like, it's not phishing, but it's social engineering in a way, I guess. Yeah. You could call it. Going down a techie route.
Supposedly, though, I've read on one of these sites when I finally got to what was behind this playlist, which will remain nameless, but like, you know, and I found this sort of site Wavear or something .ai, you know, and you know, this thing claims that everything is legitimate, but what they're doing is actually put all this music all over the world and it's used by various people. Use it for cafes and bars, it's all public places that this music is played. And then the amount you pay them for the streams, like they share it with the people who are signed up to their service or whatever. And so, I don't know, it gets convoluted, but like at the end of the day, I was just like, I was reading it all through and I was sort of, buying into it all as I read it somehow. And then I came to the end and I thought, I don't think people are doing this. They're not really like, I'm not sitting in a hotel in Zurich thinking I want music. I know I'll go to Wave AR and split royalties with them of obscure synthwave artists. It's just, I just ended up deciding that this was not really happening in the world and this was just an excuse for, of course, bots like playing music and people paying for streams, which, happens. So.
Yeah, I think I've been guilty of that years and years and years ago, of Spotify playlists and paying to go on a playlist, and I got my fingers burnt on that, and it's counterproductive in a way because it's not representative of your music. I think you just pay and you're going to get these boosts. And if you look at where the actual plays are coming from, they're really like specific. They're sort of like LA, New York, and I'm like, I'm fairly certain that's not right. And then you just get this false representation of an audience.
Do you not think, Mark, it's kind of like when you used to be in a band. I used to be in a band about 15 years ago, and when you were going to gigs, you would pay to play, and you were like, I'm playing this fantastic venue, but you're only playing it because you're paying to play there, so you get in there and nobody's there to listen to you. It's kind of like that. It's like, why I'm paying all this money, I'm getting nothing out of it.
Yeah.
I did that years ago in a band. We had a gig at the 100 Club on Oxford Street, and it's quite obviously it's a nice venue. We were like, oh shit, this is going to be incredible. And they were like, oh yeah, it's pay to play. You got to sell X amount of tickets. So we took 2 minibuses from Taunton, so for the South West contingent, taking 2 minibuses from Taunton into central London on Oxford Street. We hit a car, a part one. It was a rented minibus as well. No. We didn't get away with that. We didn't sell all the tickets, and we got there and there was hardly anyone there. And what made it even worse actually with this story is the fact that our bassist left the week before, so the bassist we had playing with us was learning the songs on the minibus to play. He's a bloody good bassist, mind you. He did well. He probably paid better than I did, and I knew the songs. But yeah, pay to play. And after that I was just like, never again. Never am I. It's a case of like, you're a promoter, you sell the tickets, we'll come and play. I'm not paying for exposure and all that.
The thing is, you were unknown, right, back then. Nobody knew who you were. So normally a band brings in people with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why they say pay to play.
Definitely, absolutely.
I mean, I can't remember who headlined that act. So I don't know. Would you do it if you're in a band, Daniel? Would you if you were a new band?
Would I pay to play?
Yeah.
If I was an unknown, yes. Yeah. Well,
you would?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
What about selling tickets?
What do you mean with selling tickets?
Well,
how would I sell the tickets, or how?
Well, the pay to play was the idea that we sold the tickets for which I'm kind of thinking is the promoter's job, but we had to sell the tickets, and the tickets that we didn't sell, we then had to pay the shortfall.
Yeah, I'm just thinking from the other side, from the promoter's perspective. I mean, you are an unknown band. How are you supposed to sell an unknown band to people that would come to that party?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I do get that. Yeah, devil's advocate. Yeah, it's hard to market a band that no one's heard of.
A lot of the time, the much better way of doing that was always to put on someone good that pulled the audience, and then to have support bands. And obviously, support bands don't really get paid, and they just they're enjoying the gig, and they're warming up the audience for the main act, and then and the promoter gets money, the band that are headlining get money, and the rest of you get a gig, and that was always good. It's just a shame you only got about 10 seconds sound check and sounded awful, but other than that, it was good. You'd always get a sound check. Yeah. This was a classic thing because I ran at one point a live venue, did all the sound for it. But it was so true. If you were in this in a kind of a long line of bands, and there was this whole idea that you were getting a proper sound check, but no one at the time really had recallable desks in these venues. So no one sort of, you'd be scrabbling down what levels it was for the vocalist and everything, and then somebody else would come along, and then another band and another band. And, the chances that when that band that you first of all sound checked turned up, that you got their levels anywhere near right is very close to zero. And like, they'd come on, everything would be feeding back, be wrong, be like, and then you'd kind of get it right within their first couple of songs if you were lucky, but it was a lottery. And a lot of the time you had pretty ropey gigs because of it, There we go.
Yeah, I often, when that happened, it would be a case of my guitar would be too low in the mix, and sometimes with my playing, I'd be like, "That's fine, I don't mind." Yeah, the guitarist can take the accolade on that.
I had a left-handed
I'm
drummer. That's what we had. So you were left-handed drummer. So you guys are on first, and you're on last. You're never getting in the middle.
Yeah. Did your drummer drive? Did he have a car? Yeah, I asked this because I had a drummer, Chris. He's a good friend, and he didn't drive. Which, imagine having a drummer that didn't drive, and the amount of fairing we had to do about it was always a bugbear. Almost as bad as a left-handed drummer. He fell off his stool once, actually, while he was playing. He had too many beers, and we had to cut the gig short. It just fell off. Yeah.
I used to tape the keyboard to the floor. I was like, have to put masking tape in the stand because I'd be having a few beers, and that keyboard would be rocking back and forward.
Yeah. Does anyone still play live? Is anyone gigging, or any plans to gig?
So I'm trying to set up a live show for next year.
Cool.
And I'll definitely be playing live at that, and trying to find out who else is gonna play on that gig.
What does your live setup look like, Daniel?
It's my computer, and then I have a MIDI keyboard that's hooked up to another computer, and which just plays the sounds over the original track.
Yeah. Do you have any visuals that go with it? I'm just thinking off the top of my head now.
I don't think I'm going to have enough people to come to that show to be able to pay for a visual, so it's all going to come out of my own pocket, I think. I don't think I want to pay for visuals to add.
Is this a day trip for us? Then are we all going over to see you?
If you can commit, the more people that come, the bigger the venue gets.
Where is it you're going to be doing?
Oh, I'd be well up for that.
Where are you going to be doing that?
Close to where I live, so I have a few places that I'm thinking about. If literally only 20 people come, it's going to be at my house. But I have a venue with for 500 people and up. So
excellent.
That'd be amazing. I played a gig. I'm spitballing now. Hillegom. That's a place in just outside of Amsterdam. Does that ring a bell, Daniel? Hillegom.
I don't come around Amsterdam that much because I live in the south, and Amsterdam's more up there. I mean, I go to Amsterdam when I'm flying or doing something with some kind of party
I was
or
flying
something,
last time I went
or
to
shopping
Amsterdam,
or something like that, but not.
Yes. It was a fantastic.
You can do that everywhere now, right?
Yeah, not around here. You can't. Yeah.
That's an off-air discussion right there. So no, I was going to say in the Watchers area. No, I played a fantastic gig in just outside of Amsterdam. Road trip was amazing. Loved it. That'd be great. It'd be really nice if there was some sort of event like that where you could get everybody to
that's the problem. I mean, I can hardly get 30 people live on my show, so getting actually 100 people in a real live venue is even more of a impossible task.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, I extend a big thank you to you guys for turning up to this. I had no idea what to expect. I thought I'd put it out there and then it'd be sort of like tumbleweed. So
the last time I was in
4 people turning up on the first one is amazing.
Last time I was in Holland, I did wake up. I don't remember a lot about it, but I woke up in a camper van outside of a campsite, which I don't think the campsite owners were very happy that we were literally camping in our van outside the campsite. But I didn't realise that's where we were. But I'd had a bit of a night in Rotterdam, actually.
Oh, we got some people from there.
I've been out on just in some sort of quite a good bar that suddenly turned into a banging techno night, like literally all night with people standing on tables and everything, and it was really great. and then we just literally passed out somewhere. We just drove out of Rotterdam, you know, in this camper van, fell asleep and woke up, and these people, the police were banging on the van saying, "You can't stay here."
The police?
Yeah, and I was like, what?
But you can't. You have to
I
pay.
literally didn't know what was going on or where I was, and I was like, "Oh no, the police! What's going on?" Like, drive, you know, and kind of get out. Yeah, so yeah.
The police are expensive alarm clocks. Here.
Oh right, yeah. Well, I think they were police anyway. I was just like, "Oh no, I've done something wrong.
You think they were police?
Let's run away."
Did you use the campsite facilities?
Maybe.
Did you use like the shower and stuff?
No. I just ran away. Yeah. Not anymore though. I don't leave watch it now. No. Yeah. Not have.
Good music. We were discussing the other day the music festival that goes on. Watch it. They do have one.
They
there.
do. Yeah, it's a good music festival actually. Small, but it's really good actually. Yeah, I've got Level 42 headlining this year. They've got Belinda Carlisle, all kinds of bizarre things going on. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Level 42. Sadly, I don't know whether that's a sort of, you know, dirty secret, but like, yeah, I rather like Level 42. So yeah, I sort of used to see them actually back in the day when they were making hits. Yeah, and yeah, just Mark King's playing his funky bass stuff. It was good. Really good. Actually, one of those kind of bands that are very poppy on record, and he's not a great singer, I don't think, in his way, but like then live, they're just electric. They're just absolutely phenomenal musicians, and like they make it really come alive, and the funk is really big, so it's good. Yeah. So I'm looking forward.
And how many people came to that event? Around
come to the Watch It Music Festival. God, that is a good question, because it's only one field and about 3 stages, but it's like, I mean, it's packed. So I'm trying to think. It might be about, it's got to be like sort of about somewhere between 5 and 10. I'm not sure, 1,000. You know, not 5 and 10 people. No, that'd be quite good. But like, yeah, 5 to 10,000, I would say. I know that's a big difference, but like, I don't know. Maybe big. It's 5,000. You know, something like that. Yeah. But it is a small festival, but, you know, but that's, you know, it's not Glastonbury, but, you know, yeah. Yeah, maybe
the audience listening, watch it.
I'm beginning to think I'm overselling it. Maybe
town,
5.
So again, 5 to 10,000
but
people
you know,
watch it.
Because I'm just thinking, watch its own.
Just getting them there is
like,
bad enough.
Population is 4, so that would be more than the entire population of Watch It. So maybe I'm overselling it, but it feels like a lot of people from around here. You know, it's good. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's one road in. Yeah, there's one road in. It's great though, because it's the only festival that I've ever managed to go to where I can go home to the loo.
One road in, isn't it?
And like make a cup of tea and then go back up for the next band, because literally it's at the end of my road. So you just walk up the hill. It's a bit of a bummer, but there's a hill. But like go up the hill, turn left, there's the field. Yeah. So it's great. Not so great if you don't like the band, because you can obviously go home and hear them still. But like, you know, it's great. You can just like go, no, I'm not using that horrible festival toilet. I'm going home, gonna have a cup of tea, sandwich, go back and watch the next one. It's good.
Well, it sounds like Daniel's going to have a festival in his house, so you'll be able to just pop to the toilet when you're at that one.
I would love to come. Yeah. Heartbeat Heroes playing at my house. Yeah. Excellent.
So what would be the best way for me to like make sure that people come? Because people can say they come, but how do you commit them to it?
We just
pay the airfare. Yeah.
That's hard, isn't it? It's tricky because
sell a non-refundable ticket.
Yeah. Somebody saying yes, getting that commitment is hard, man. I don't know how you would get them to commit. Because I've got friends bank if they don't make it, you know. That's one thing you can consider. Like, you know, people are like, yeah, it's down when it comes to that. Before where I put on gigs and they've been
like.
That's maybe deposits anyway. I don't know. Go on, Carl.
Your last Instagram live, but has anybody been to a lot of synthwave gigs? live gigs.
I've been a Perturbator.
That's so good.
And also Time Cop was there as well. He was the first act, and there were maybe like 20 people for Time Cop.
That's brilliant.
Really?
He lives really nearby. For him, it was like 20, 30 people maybe, and then when Perturbator came in, it was like a full house of 500 people.
20.
Yeah, Perturbator's pretty serious live. He's really good.
The lights on that are amazing.
I've never been to a synthwave gig.
No.
No, I metal. The only gigs I've been to are metal and rock. And, yeah. I'd tell you what, for the audience listening, Neil on Highway, he gets about when it comes to gigs. How many have you been to this year?
Yeah.
God, jeez.
Wow.
It's not cheap.
That's good.
Yeah.
No.
That's good going, man. What's the highlight? What's the best one this year?
It's got to be 9 Inch Nails this year for me. I pretty much went to the entire UK tour.
That was at the Eden?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was great, man.
The Eden Project.
Biggest surprise for me was probably Alice Cooper. I was like, we're going to see how this goes, and it was just incredible. Just the theatrics and the level of playing, it was amazing. And it's amazing how many songs you know. You go, I know this one, I know this one. It's just fantastic, amazing.
Have you been to Ramstein?
No, because they never ever get anywhere near me. I was going to go down to Cardiff to see them, and then I seen your post, and I was immensely jealous. It looked amazing, and then you followed up by writing an entire tune just to make me even more jealous. But God of Fire is fantastic, Daniel. Absolutely brilliant track. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I'm going to hook you all up with free codes for the.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very prolific, actually. You do shock me like that, Heartbeat Hero. You're one of those people that makes me feel, damn, I need to write music.
Oh, you're a gentleman, thank you.
Like, go online and it'd be like, he's written another one. How I've just been sleeping, eating and getting ready to think about...
Somebody in the group told me to calm down, so I'm not posting them anymore. I'm still making them.
You're just building them up like Prince. You've got a vault with them all in.
Exactly.
Love that.
You'll die and they'll be just like releasing them for the next 50 years,
I have to because my wife hates my music, so they'll be lost forever otherwise.
You've got an intense amount of energy, man. Like, I don't know how you write all the stuff. You do the shows, you've got your funny shots on social media. It's just,
I think
like, where does he get the time and the energy? It's just absolutely amazing.
So the show is only once a month, so that helps. Not doing it every month, every week is like that would be killer for me.
It's good though.
I think it'd be. Yeah, around 250. Going back to the prolific side of things,
I'm just
I think Daniel,
about 2-3 tracks a week
earlier about your sort of workflow that you go through when it comes to release.
It's going to be a long gig.
How many tracks do you have on SoundCloud? You revealed it to me earlier. How many are on there?
Yeah. Be worth the ticket.
Yeah, I have around a 30-minute gig lined up that I can do now. I don't think I want to make it any longer. The rest will just be DJing, and then hopefully other people will perform.
How long is that over then? So, what's your earliest track out of all of those?
Yeah.
It's in 2010. I started posting in 2010 on SoundCloud, but just around 2017, I got into the synthwave. So before that, it's all weird electronic music. Chiptune based stuff and stuff like that.
I think if our Greyhound would just shut up, if our Greyhound would behave itself, that would really help. No.
I heard that dog a few moments ago.
Exactly, yeah.
We're on the topic of prolificness.
No, it's just, you know what it's like. It's distractions.
So my question
things
is,
that sort of get in your way of like whatever.
What
it
would
is,
make
like,
you
know,
of interest? Can you think of?
I think that's always, and they're always going to be
off
them.
the top of your
so
head?
you can't get
Daniel
rid of them, but,
is incredibly prolific, and he's been told
it's trying
to rein it in,
isn't it? Like, that's the thing, and keep quality at the same time. You know, because I mean, you can be prolific. I mean, fortunately, Daniel is both prolific and keeps quality, but like, which is really annoying. But like, you know, because some people are sort of super prolific, but the quality's just gone out the window, you know. But like, you manage to do the two, and that's really hard, I think. So yeah, I find that hard.
Mm.
Mm.
I do as well. I think for me, it's probably I'm guilty of spreading myself too thin. I think that's what my guilt is. I
really use Instagram. I don't even have Facebook. Sometimes I use Twitter, but yeah,
can do, and there's no time
Instagram,
pressure.
Twitter, TikTok,
whereas things in there, because I know it's something that, like with the
all of them.
podcast,
I quite enjoy your
weekly. I know that
contributions.
episode needs to
Great,
go out
yeah.
and sort of takes
There's
precedence
one the other day that really made me laugh.
over the music,
Yeah.
unfortunately, which is a
Yeah,
pain. But that's me. I think
the personal ones, they work.
Yeah, they do.
work
me,
the best.
it's spreading myself focused for me again, and focusing on, or maybe one or two, maybe three channels rather than try to be everywhere, because it's time for me is a killer. I don't know why. I mean, it's out of interest with regards to social media. Can anyone think of how many platforms they're on that they use regularly?
Yeah.
10, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thoughts on TikTok?
I think sometimes with synthwave, it's a bit of an easy win with that stuff. You can put Van Damme dancing, and everybody will watch it. I can write a track that has nothing to do with Lethal Weapon and call it Lethal Weapon, and everybody goes, "Oh my god!" You know. I did a track a couple of years ago, Nakatomi Nightmare. It was basically themed around Die Hard. It had nothing to do with Die Hard really, but it had that.
Yeah, we were saying this earlier.
People just associate with that and buy into it. And I think a lot of synthwaves.
Daniel.
Like
yeah.
and I
was saying to Daniel earlier that I made that one.
Oh my god, this got Terminator on the cover. I need to go and listen to that. It's like,
Yeah.
nothing to do with Terminator.
Yeah.
A new music.
I think I sort
podcast
of seem to go the other way. Just write things that, you know, I suppose not so with Miami Nights. I suppose
10.
the title
10
like
views?
that is very synthwave.
10 views in a week?
You know, I write something
that
like
thing
Goes to
took
the Sea,
me
which is probably
5
not a
minutes
very
to put together.
synthwave
I just had to
title,
go and
you know, something like that.
screen clip the
A
video.
lot of the time, I'm
and
not
then
particularly
Van Damme dancing
referencing,
to me
like,
while I
you know,
look.
some sort of 80s movie or something. So I'm missing out a trick there, but you know, so yeah, sort of write a track that's in 7/4 or something and wonder why no one wants to listen to it. You know,
The middle distance of my camera.
I'm sort of a bit of. I can't help it. Sometimes I think that's the thing that stops me being as prolific as I might like to be. Is that I'm every time I sit down to write a track, I'm kind of going through the entire process of what a track is and how I'm doing it. I'm not really I don't stick to a pattern very much. I tend to sort of be constantly reinventing the wheel for myself, you know. Like, you know, I'll spend like ages re-looking at my drum kit and my kick drum won't be like, and, you know, or this, that. It's not like I go, you know, I've seen some videos where people are like, this is what I use this bass and this kick drum and this, that, and I go like, well, I could do that. I could write an album in about a day doing that. I just like, but I don't do that. I can't be that disciplined. I just go like, well, I don't know about all that. No, is this a song? Is this an instrumental? I just go through a million different things, and then suddenly something turns out. It doesn't, and it surprises me often as much as, you know, anybody else. I've sort of surprised myself, done something a bit different in it, hopefully. So, you know.
I think we all have that it surprises you. I mean, you're making something and it just surprise feeling. That's the best feeling there is.
Yeah. Mm.
Prodigy.
Yeah.
Can I ask Jess a question? Jess, do you find this, because you probably,
Yes,
I assume you write the lyrics for your songs, and do you write your own lyrics and stuff? Yeah, because I find that is one of the hardest things. Like, I can write some music or whatever, but like lyrics,
I find I
will
often
spend ages like
music,
sort of faffing around with getting the right lyric for a
probably
song,
why I'm
the
not as
right
prolific
idea,
as I should be.
melody-wise and lyric-wise, and
I
find
keep doing it.
because I,
for example,
you know, I'm a
Rocco
reluctant
Destro
vocalist at
sent
best
me a
anyway.
track
But
he
like
wants me to work
doing
on, he
vocals,
sent it over to me.
it just is
And
always
I was like,
like,
I'll spend
you
an
know,
hour on
that
it.
is one of the things
I
that
told him I spend an hour,
slows
and then
me
I'll get a
down.
feel
So
for
if I
it,
do
see
something
if it's something we
instrumental, I can
work
do it
on.
reasonably quickly.
I ended up sending him
but,
back
like,
some
as soon
drum
as
and
I'm
bass.
putting
It was so
putting that
far
in,
removed.
It makes it harder for me. How do you find that?
from what he
I
sent me.
think I work differently to
and
you
it was only
guys. I
because
think
he had
you
a vocal
guys
chop in
can
it. I was like,
formulate
mate,
all
I can
that
hit the
stuff
drum and
really
bass under
quickly.
that.
I'm the
And
opposite,
I
so
sent it
I
over
hear
to
a
him.
melody in my head as
But
though
I
it's
don't
on a
think that's the
radio,
direction it's going to go.
and
But I was
maybe
like,
some
hey,
of those lyrics.
I'm still going to work with him.
And then I get the
sounds
feel
great.
of what the track should
and
be.
you've got,
This is another thing I agree with you guys.
Jolly
I can't just
Adam,
stick to one
playing
thing
guitar on it as
because
well.
it depends what comes through.
Which
So
is,
sometimes like
Sleepless
one of them
Nights.
was like a bit of a
But there we go,
90s
yeah,
R&B
a name
feel, one of them was
to
quite
the
80s.
producer.
And
But yeah, I
then
sent it
I'll
across
just go
and I'm
with
thinking,
that,
maybe if I
and
just sort of, like,
it really
stuck in
depends
one
what comes
place for a
through.
while,
And when
I'd put out
it just
more
sort of
music
falls
rather than
together.
trying to
So I'll have like a
do
melody idea and then a
everything all
few
at once. I
lyrics.
don't know.
And then once I understand what
tricky.
it's about, it's almost like it's coming through. Then I can build up around it.
I do get that.
you're like letting the universe.
Feels like it,
universe is
yeah. It's like
speaking to
a
you, right?
radio tuning coming in. That's why sometimes I feel like I go through real
Yeah.
sort of dry spells. So I feel like it's all static. I can't hear anything, and then I feel really incompetent. But then sometimes it has happened the other way, where I'll just be putting through some instrumental music, and then I get an idea. So it kind of varies, but
I definitely
yeah, it's mainly melody first.
I definitely get that though. That kind of thing of it feeling like it sort of comes to you. It's like, and I might have written the music first, but like the actual what this tune is about, or what this song is about, and you know what I'm going to write or whatever, and I can go for ages just not knowing, you know, and until I know, it's just sort of, it's dead to me really until I know what it's about. And I suppose that can happen with, you know, instrumental things as well. It's just like it's a lot of the time. It's like I'll see a movie start going almost in my head. I'll see like a storyboard of something coming to me, you know,
Yeah.
almost what it's about. And if I haven't got that going on, it's just like,
And that's when it flows. When it flows like that, and it just is, it's almost, you know, you can write a song in minutes or a couple of hours. And then there's other tracks where I've worked on, I've thought, you know, this just isn't coming through. So the ones that just sort of flow through, they're the ones I send to Mark. Say, what do you think? Is this any good, or am I imagining it?
Yeah. Mark.
So I know where everybody's from, actually, but Jess, where can I find you? Where?
Yeah,
are
I'm
you
on
at
Instagram,
all?
YouTube, SoundCloud,
What? Under what
jessicatowers.co.uk.
name?
It's completely different from my name.
Jessica. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right.
So the music I do is synth pop, and then I dabble in a bit of, 90s, just through the generations, whatever I feel. You can find me on Instagram, jessicatowers.co.uk, and on YouTube, Facebook, though I don't use that so much, and SoundCloud.
And do you create all your music yourself, or do you work?
I create all the music myself, and then I send it to Mark to work his magic, because I'm still learning about how to mix and do all the amazing things that he does, which I just can't even get close to. So, no, it's true. Thank you.
I really use Instagram mostly, so I think it's Neon Highway Synth on Instagram. Find me on SoundCloud as well. All of the sort of streaming platforms, Bandcamp as well. Sound-wise, probably I started taking it off my bio that it's synthwave, because I don't think it really is, but it's synth music of some sort, drawn on influences from The Cure, Joy Division, New Order, and Kraftwerk, I would say. But often I sort of veer off into sort of horror, darker sides, and I like to do a Halloween release every year, so I try to do something a bit different.
Folks, I've realised,
bit of John Carpenter,
for whatever reason, my recording platform says it's only 31 minutes, but I think we've been talking
it's a bit
for an
of a
hour.
mix. I do love ambient music as well, so sometimes I'll put out a bit more down-tempo tracks, which tend not to get played as much, but the other ones I tend to love more, which is, I suppose, interesting difference between an artist and their audience.
Where can the audience find you online? And what a brief intro.
Oh yeah,
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, definitely send it in.
good stuff.
Submit it.
Brief description of your music. Jess, because you've basically just done it.
I'm a synthwave producer from the Netherlands, and I also have a synthwave show. You can find music on SoundCloud /Heartbeat Hero. I'm on YouTube, Spotify, and everywhere else. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok.
Fantastic.
Oh, and people, my fan is 45 years old and likes synthwave. I think it's from 25 to 50,
or
50, I
slightly
think, something
older,
like
even. Not that I would know anything about that.
Where can we find you?
Yeah,
but no, it's a joy way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you find me lurking on Instagram at R9Music. You'll find me at Twitter at R9 Synthwave, actually. I mean, I am also on R9 Music at Twitter, but I never use it. You will find me on TikTok, and you will find me on YouTube, R9 Music, and r9music.co.uk as well. Yeah, I mean, I am a synthwave producer, really, I guess, but like it definitely branches out into some other electronic music styles and I even wrote post rock on something the other day. Who knows? But like so it's generally electronic based stuff.
A banger of a Halloween show every year. Daniel about Halloween shows. He puts on